Hi, it's Jackie Othen here with the Othen Group and RE/MAX Ultimate. Today's Real Estate Real Talk is all about the conversation surrounding downsizing. I'm going to give you some tips today and some things to really think about if you are contemplating downsizing in the new year or even now. First tip I have for you, which I have for a lot of seniors, and I've worked with many of them over the years, the first tip, the most important tip in my mind, is make the decisions and collect the information and gather the data from the professionals when you are still able and competent and able to do so on your own terms. I say this with a lot of emphasis and a lot of love and care because I know how important it is after meeting hundreds of seniors, how critical it is to be able to have your own voice and advocate for yourself. I love it when I meet seniors who have a clear path and a defined idea about where they're going and the voice is theirs. At other times when seniors are unable, I'm meeting with their children or their extended families to help them make the decision. So what I want for you is if you're watching this and you're a senior, I want you to take control of the conversation while you can and while you're able and while you have your wits about you and the energy about you to make them for yourself. The second tip I have for you is if you're downsizing and if you're thinking about downsizing is to gather information from the professionals, figure out what the house value is as at today, and make a plan that is often 3 or 4 months long and sometimes even longer. Sometimes I meet clients a year before they're ready to make the move, and it takes time to get the house in order. It takes time to find a place for them to live, and it also takes time often for family members to gather around and offer their support if they're there to help make sure the transition is one that's smooth, one that isn't rushed, and one that goes off without a hitch. Remember, planning is everything. If you don't make a plan, you can plan to fail. Where will I go or where shall I go? That's a question that I get from seniors all the time, whether they're close to me and they're people that I've worked with for many years in my circle, or if they're new clients that I meet. That's the most important question that comes up that requires really delicate care. That question does not have a one-size-fits-all answer. It really depends on your situation and your family situation. I have a lot of clients who are ready for bungalows. I have some who definitely won't go into condo living or are looking to go into assisted living. That's a really important question before you put your property for sale that has to be answered in my mind, or you just don't know where you're going to go, and being in limbo isn't a great place. So we have to first answer where you're thinking about going, and usually by exploration and conversations with you and your family we can identify the right place for you so that you have a good choice in the matter and you end up exactly where you belong. Who is going to help you throughout the transition from your current home to your next home? That's a really important question if you're a downsizer because it can be overwhelming. I've been in my home for a number of years and I can tell you some families that have been in their homes for 30 to 50 years, we all acquire a lot of stuff. And the question is, what will we do with our things? How will we take the big house and bring it to the little house? Do our grandkids want things? Do our children want things? Do our neighbors want things? So whether it's donating goods, making a garbage pile, a donation pile, and a take with you pile, we've got to make a plan to be able to plan for what's around you because we're creatures of habit. And if you're like me, you don't want to give everything away. You don't want to see things fill up the landfill, but you want to make sure that you take the most important things with you on your next move. So how do we accomplish that? We work with some amazing professionals who will help you take the big house and organize it into a little house. And if you aren't working with someone, you definitely should be because you can't tackle this alone. You need all of the best resources there to help you to downsize your house. Location, one of the most important words in real estate. Whether you are buying for the first time, you're investing in the market, or you're downsizing your property, the most important thing I want you to think about next to the process is where are you going in terms of location. One of the important things that I think that are so important these days, especially in COVID times, is finding a location that speaks to you, that's right for you, where family is easy to access you quickly should they need you. So we're talking in an apartment. Do you want to be high up? Probably not if you're a senior. I usually have seniors who like to be lower to the ground in case of the inevitable needing access to things like 911. It's quick, it's easy. And also, if you're not a fan of the elevator, you can simply walk out of your terrace onto your own garden and get a breath of fresh air. So if that's a big change, you want to think about those things. Also, where are there really great resources for seniors? Where are there senior clubs? Where are there places that you can go and walk comfortably in the winter temps, in the summer temps? All those things. Socially active is so important. A lot of my healthy seniors are really craving that sense of community where other seniors belong and where they can feel like they have a sense of belonging. And super important is access to transit. As we may or may not be driving, past 80, some of us want to be easy access to transit or areas of interest like the mall, like the grocery store, the banks, dentists, doctors, all of the above. So if you're thinking of making a move, make sure that location is at the top of your priority list.